So celebrities, we know them, we watch them, we listen to them, we read them, we laugh with them. Now we can, I guess, laugh at them. This crisis that we're in, I guess, pandemic, has been very, very interesting for many, many reasons. Namely, the fact that it's exposing a lot of these people as just being highly attention-seeking. And I think this right here is indicative of that. And it's a shame. And I'm not calling out these individuals. I'm just calling out the premise of it. Remember, these are celebrities. These are people that have everything. Anything they could ever want. And to think that what they're asking for would remove all of that, because if they get what they want, that's probably what would happen, is laughable. Because I don't think they'd be able to live in a world where they don't have all of the accumulative wealth that they do. And if you think otherwise, then why are they celebrities and they have everything and you have nothing, huh? So let's check it out, right? This is baffling to me. It really, really is. So Joker actor Robert De Niro, Joaquin Phoenix, we've got Willem Dafoe, we've got Adam Driver, we've got Kate Blanchett. Basically 200 plus Hollywood celebrities and scientists have signed their names to an editorial demanding radical changes to society after the global pandemic that we're under. But the radical changes are all to do with like consumerism. Your entire world and your wealth is built off of consumerism. That's the reason you are a celebrity. That's the reason you're able to sign your name on that list and for it to mean anything. So you're calling for a change on that, and for me, like for you to expect anyone to actually believe that you want a change to that, I think is laughable. Yeah, it's the same kind of virtue signaling that Joaquin Phoenix did when he has been flying everywhere, but then came up and spoke about the climate change issues and was like, well, you know, I can't fly, I have to fly everywhere, sorry. It's just hypocrisy. You know, these people want everyone else, you know, to go down, but for them still to have their money, I'm sure. So let's check it out. I just find it disingenuous, I guess is my point. You know, it really is disingenuous. It's disingenuous Hollywood elitism. I think that's probably going to be the title of this video, disingenuous Hollywood elitism. Now, in the op-ed published to French paper Le Monde earlier this week, the Hollywood elite make clear that they want to radically transform society in order to address the ongoing ecological catastrophe. Now, they're framing it as that, right? But then, and what I find very, very baffling when we start to talk about no one wants the world to blow up. We live here, you know, it's our home. No one wants the ecological collapse of the world. No one wants it, fairly certain, because everyone would die. But their demands are very much anti-capitalism. But their entire world, their world, is built off of that. So I find it very disingenuous. Now, it calls that this ongoing ecological catastrophe as a direct existential threat that will have immeasurable consequences. One of those consequences, they claim, is the massive extinction of life on Earth. I find this to be very, very extreme level of wording. It's very, very extreme. It's very, very, very extreme. Now, the group of signers claim that the pursuit of consumerism, and this is where we get to the disingenuous element of all of this, the pursuit of consumerism and an obsession with productivity have led us to deny the value of life itself, says the people who have maids and essentially servants, who have nannies that look after their children because they don't do it themselves. And you're lecturing other people on how they value life itself. Do you see why it's really disingenuous? It's super disingenuous coming from these people. The letter also stated that pollution, climate change, and the destruction of our remaining natural zones has brought the world to a breaking point. Now, did you know, ladies and gents, that there was a massive ozone layer, hole in the ozone layer over, I think it was like the North Pole, and it closed? And it actually had nothing to do with climate change at that point. It was actually the movement of winds, I believe. You can look this up, like it's a fact. It was one of the worst holes in the ozone layer, and it's closed up. It's done. So when we talk about this, these are not the and that's scientific. It's proven. Again, I just find this very disingenuous. So they want to radically transform society, which includes a profound overhaul of our goals, values, and economies. You wouldn't be giving up your money, though, would you? You see what I mean? Again, disingenuous. In this world that they look down on you and they lecture you about the value of life, yet they have nannies that look after their newborns. No. These are the same people that were cry. Sam Smith, the singer, was crying like a little bitch because he was locked inside his £1 million mansion and he couldn't leave. Oh, woe is me, Sam Smith. You absolute twat. Fucking cockwaffle. Now, they detail that the radical transformations we need at all levels demands boldness and courage. Give up all your money. In the editorial, they demand that the citizens of all nations call on their leaders and push them to re-engineer society for the sake of the environment. So stop flying everywhere for your Hollywood productions then. So you know where you live in LA? Only sign on to productions that are there. How about that? Would you do that? No, you wouldn't. Do you see why it's disingenuous? We must act now. It is as much a matter of survival and as one of dignity and coherence. And yet when we reference that hole in the ozone layer that magicked away. Now, I'm not saying that there are not issues with the ecological, society, the society and the ecological effects of the world and things like that. I'm not saying that there's not issues there. There obviously is. But we are all actively trying to resolve it anyway. No one wants the world to blow up. We live here. We just can't end society to do that. It's all a balancing act, We're slowly moving towards it. But these people want it instantly, and it can't be done. Now, in their editorial, like I said, they demand all the leaders, blah, 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 dignity, coherence. Some of the more prominent signees include Star Wars actor Adam Driver, James Bond actor Ralph Fiennes, Die Hard actor Jeremy Irons, Joaquin Phoenix, and Inception's Marion Cotillard. Now here it is. Here is the sort of letter. The COVID-19 pandemic is a tragedy. This crisis is, however, inviting us to examine what is essential, and what we see as simple adjustments are not enough. The problem is systemic. The ongoing ecological catastrophe is a meta-crisis. The massive extinction of life on Earth is no longer in doubt. And all indicators point to a direct existential threat. Unlike a pandemic, however severe, a global ecological collapse will have immeasurable consequences. Yes, it will, but no one wants that. They always write these things as if people are actively working towards the destruction of the planet, and they're not. Idiots? Seriously. Unbelievable. Now it continues and further. It says, we therefore solemnly call upon leaders, and all of us as citizens, to leave behind the unsustainable logic that still prevails, and to undertake a profound overhaul of our goals, values, and economies. Again, these same people will be booking themselves on roles in movies that will have them fly all over the world. If I go on Instagram now, right, and I look at these people's Instagrams in the next coming couple of months, when all of this is done and people can fly, they will be going places. They'll be going all over the world. They'll be flying there. But remember, their voice is so loud, they must do it. Yeah, of course. The pursuit of consumerism They're only in the position they are because of consumerism. And an obsession with productivity have led us to deny the value of life itself. Remember, these people hire nannies for their newborns, that of plants, that of animals, and that of a great number of human beings. Au pairs, remember? They don't look after their own kids. Pollution, climate change, and the destruction of our remaining natural zones, once healed itself, has brought the world to a breaking point. For these reasons, along with increasing social inequalities, has to be, doesn't it? We believe it is unthinkable to go back to normal. The radical transformation we need at all levels demands boldness and courage. It will not happen without a massive and determined commitment. We must act now. It is as much a matter of survival as one of dignity and coherence. Fantastic. So glad I can be talked down to by a bunch of Hollywood elites that, I guess, you know, if they could pay someone to wipe their own arse, they'd probably do that as well. This is all the signees. Again, a lot of actors, a lot of singer-songwriters. It's all people that have had their careers because of consumerism. So I don't know. To me, it just comes across massively disingenuous. I'm not going to kind of rally against it and say, I don't know, really. I just find it disingenuous. This disingenuous Hollywood elitism. I don't think anyone's got the answer, because that will be inevitably one of the comments coming through. Like, well, what's the answer then? I don't think anyone has the answer, unfortunately. If we did, we'd be doing it, right? We're slowly trying to get there. We're muddling our way through it all. But this level of extremism, I mean, it is borderline terrorism. It is genuinely I mean, the what do they call it? The Extinction Rebellion. The acts that they do are borderline terrorist activity. Like they're one step away from committing acts of terror to get their point across. It's frightening, absolutely frightening. Anyway, take care.